Mr. Foreman, on docket number 22 HCCR 117001, murder in the second degree, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
So say you, Mr. Foreman? So say you? No. Do you agree?
Yes.
Do all of you agree?
Yes.
Thank you.
Not guilty on count one.
002, what say? Is the defendant at the bar not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty.
Of?
Is not guilty or guilty of
confusion
that charge or
count
any
two.
lesser included charge?
Lesser included.
Thank you. Specifically, number 5, operating under the influence of liquor by operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or greater. Correct?
Yes.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Guilty.
So say you all?
Yes. Guilty.
003,
Guilty
what
of the
say is the
DUI.
defendant at the bar leaving the scene after accident resulting in death? Is the
That's
defendant
gonna be
not
not
guilty or
guilty.
guilty?
Not guilty.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Well,
So say you all?
holy shit.
Jurors, hearken your verdict as the court records that you upon your oath say the defendant
Did
on
you hear that
001
from
is not
outside?
guilty, on
Holy
002
shit.
is guilty of operating under the influence of liquor, and 003 not guilty.
They are rereading count 2, 5, the DUI. You can hear the cheers outside the courthouse. She is not guilty on count 1, not guilty count 3, guilty of the DUI over 0.08 only.
And 003 not guilty. Thank you.
All right, jurors, everybody please be seated. Jurors, we thank you for your service. We're going to send you back. Your service is complete. I'd like to come back and talk to you for a little bit afterwards. So thank you very much.
All rise. You're call me.
I'm going to zoom in just a moment. Oh, Yannetti, he has been with this case as long as Karen Read has. She called him the night of January 29th and reached out to him as her attorney. So I am not surprised that Yannetti has a very emotional response to that verdict.
Karen
I'm
Read.
not surprised at all.
Not yet.
Tony,
Hold
not yet.
on, everyone.
All right, so Mr. Yannetti, you ready to go forward today as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, Mr. Brennan, what's the Commonwealth's recommendation?
Your Honor, the Commonwealth moves for sentencing. We recommend probation, 1 year, 24D program.
So the standard that everybody else gets on their first time OUI?
Certainly.
Okay.
We ask that she be treated no differently, no better. No.
So I'm happy to do it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
1 year probation, 1 year probation.
And here comes the defense team. And Karen Read out of the courthouse. Let me minimize me. I've kept the volume down because of how loud the yelling is.
I just want to say 2 things. Number 1 is I could not be standing here without these amazing supporters who have supported me and my team financially and, more importantly, emotionally for almost 4 years. And the second thing I want to say is no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have and my team. Thank you.
It is very loud.
Mr. Reed. I want to acknowledge the strength of our daughter Karen, the support of the entire Reed extended family. I want to acknowledge the greatest team of attorneys. Our first one that we found was David Yannetti. We added Alan Jackson and Liza Little. Bob Alessi, you know about.
Yes,
It
we're
was
very
a
familiar
fantastic
with
team,
Bob.
but we needed them all to defeat this. We thank everybody for their support from the heart. We love you all of the content providers who help spread the word. Thank you so much. God bless you all. The investigation. Let's do this.
Incredibly loud cheers at the courthouse as the defense team finishes speaking. You can hear how loud that crowd is. It's day 36 of the Karen Read trial. 4 days of deliberation. It's Wednesday, it's June 18th, 2025, and it feels like it's been 84 years. Today, sometime around lunch, the jury knocked, indicating they have a verdict. And then, before anyone went and checked with them, they said, just kidding, JK, we don't have a verdict. But the court told the lawyers to stay in the courthouse. And then the jury indicated shortly after their lunch break, Eastern, that they did have a verdict. Everyone came into the courtroom, the jurors came in, and they rendered those verdicts. There was some confusion as the verdicts were being read from the foreperson. That doesn't shock me. There's been confusion with this case and the verdict forms. I think that's pretty clear. So the original form that they filled out, which I'm guessing they filled it out wrong, got sealed and put into the court record. If this entire court record ever gets unsealed, maybe we will know then. But I appreciate, and I think we need to highlight, that the jurors said, wait, we made a mistake, we need to fix it. That is important. There are issues with verdict slips. That is not unusual. We have seen that before, that there are issues with verdict slips. So for the jury to say, time out, that was a mistake, we want to fix it, is very mindful and conscientious of them. Very demure. We're here for it. Then they came into the courtroom and they read out the verdicts. Not guilty on count 1, the second-degree murder. On count 2, guilty of the lesser included DUI, OUI, operating under the influence. That is a misdemeanor charge. That is the least serious thing she was charged with. And then count 3, the hit and run causing death, not guilty. Then they immediately went to sentencing. They sentenced her on a typical offer for a first-time DUI, OUI, and that first-time offer is 1 year of probation. That'll be a less formal probation, stay out of trouble, don't pick up any new cases, etc. And they called it the 24D class, which normally has some classes that you have to attend. Typically, there's a standard court fine. We didn't hear that on the record, but there will be some kind of minimum court fine. They did not impose any additional fine on top of that. So Karen Read is now on probation. They will give her attorneys the terms of probation. It's part of why they would have waited in the courtroom a bit longer, because there's a whole probation form and checklist that they have to fill out with the terms of probation. Then we heard from Karen Read and her attorneys outside. She said that no one has fought for justice for John O'Keefe more than she has. Her attorney said, we're going to let Karen speak. And then after her attorney said, we're going to let Karen speak, we heard from her father. And that is where we're at the end of today. For such a active last 2 days, it took, 10 minutes? It felt like 94 years. It's just, here's the verdicts and that's it. So for Karen Read, this case is done, completely done. The Commonwealth cannot appeal on the not guilty verdicts. I don't think there's anything for them to appeal on the guilty either, and I don't think that they would. I imagine with a 1 year of probation, Karen's attorneys might choose not to appeal if they choose to. You know her attorneys are going to tell us. The next question all of you had. The FBI! What about the FBI? What about the federal investigation? Lawyers have said that the federal investigation is closed, but we don't know for sure because we haven't heard from federal agents, the U.S. Attorney's Office. They don't comment on investigations. They only comment on if there is an unsealed indictment. But can they go after this case and try to find what happened? That's more difficult than finding or looking for malfeasance in the investigation. If federal authorities are looking for malfeasance in the investigation, maybe we will see something. I don't expect we will ever see anyone else charged in the death of John O'Keefe for that death. If there are other issues with the investigation, those things can be charged separately unless something dramatically changes and other evidence comes to light. It is very hard to try someone else for the exact same crime that they tried Karen Read for. Incredibly difficult to try to do that twice. So it almost builds in doubt because then the fact that you tried somebody else for the case comes up. So I don't think we will see them trying to prosecute anyone else for this. Now, if there is stuff going on in the investigation and the feds choose to do that, we might see that down the road, but I can't tell you if we will or if we won't because they haven't done anything yet. It doesn't mean they won't. So we just don't have enough information. And the fact that the feds have an eye on this case means the feds have an eye on this case. That's what it means. And I'm sure that they still do. That's all that we can really know because the feds are pretty tight-lipped about all of that, right? So hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. We, the law nerds of the chat, declare that this matter of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Karen Read, verdicts rendering on this day, June 18th, 2025 of count 1, not guilty, count 2, guilty of the misdemeanor operating under the influence with 1-year probation sentence underway, and count 3, not guilty. This case is closed. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss updates on your favorite cases, you're going to need the Law Nerd app at lawnerdapp.com. That way you can stay in the loop on the cases that matter most to you, and you never know when you're going to catch feelings for a new case. So make sure you get it for free on iOS and Android. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a Law Nerd.